Thank you very much for choosing to continue your day with us right here on our Lookuptv. My name is Simba. Elijah Charles Kiage. This is Lookup Business. A lot of things happening in the economy today, but center stage is the launch of the Hustler Fund. We'll be going live with those pictures from State House and telling you exactly what it is that you need to know around the 50 billion Hustler Fund that is getting launched today by the president. But on the side of that, there are a lot of other things happening in the economy today, as we do know of it. Now, it's good news for HF, that is Housing Finance, which has reported 61.5 million shillings in a profit. That on the back of increased loans and advances within that particular lender. Now, across that, I got to tell you exactly what this is coming from. HF, which we do know has not been really ticking in the financial service sector. It recorded 66.14% growth in a non-interest income, and that is essentially from fees and commissions on loans and advances to 753.3 million, and they're attributing this to foreign exchange trading and a model of its banking subsidiary HFC. Now, for us, when you look at this, then you will say that you look at their trading income that has also expanded by 40.2% to 101.3 million from 72.3 million, and net interest income that is now gone up by 13.9% to 1.6 billion. On the back of that, it's not everything good, especially when it comes to the listed counters on the NSE. What we do know is that Unga Group has cut 117 jobs today, and they're blaming this on a sluggish sales at that particular company. Now, the workforce has dropped to 283 in the review period to 400 compared to the year before, according to disclosures that are contained in its annual reports. Now, if you look at the sales team, they have dropped to 39 from 126, while staffing in the production department has also declined to 103 from 134. Now, we'll be looking at those two counters, HF, which is giving us a positive result after a lengthy period of raking in losses, and also whether this news from Unga Group Limited is going to affect their standing on the NSE trading today. For now, let's cross over to the newsroom so we can get to see some of the biggest business headlines that are taking center stage today. Again, my name is Simba. Elijah Charles Kiage. This is Lookup Business online at Kiage Simba, the hashtag Lookup Business. Now, President William Ruto will today launch the much-awaited Hustler Fund geared towards helping small businesses in the country with cheap financing. The fund, pegged at 50 billion Kenyan shillings, will see individuals and businesses with a good credit score borrow up to 50,000 shillings at a flat rate of 8% interest rate.
The much-awaited Hustler Fund will launch today, coming as a hope for small businesses and individuals in the market for cheap credit to start or boost their enterprises. A core campaign promise of Ruto during his campaign. The Hustler Fund will be dispatched through mobile phone lending with USSD code, expected to be the model of accessing the credit through the platform. Borrowers' creditworthiness will be, however, be rated by the existing commercial lending platforms in the country, with the loans attracting a flat interest rate of 8%, depending on creditworthiness of the borrowers. With 4 million defaulters expected to be removed from the credit reference bureaus in the country, on the back of a call from the president, many individuals might find themselves eligible to borrow on the Hustler Fund platform. The fund will launch today under 4 products touching on personal finance, microloans, as well as startup loans for businesses looking to enter into the market, with those looking to save for retirement through the platform also provided an easy route for contributions through the fund. The president, keen on making the fund work for borrowers and businesses in the country, has introduced through regulations the fund management that will see officials renew their contract after 3 years, with anyone for misappropriating the fund facing a 10 million shillings fine or a 5-year jail term. Banks looking to log into the fund have been promised lower borrowing rates upon matching the general rates. All interest rates and penalties will be decided upon by the 8 personnel board behind the fund. Kenyans looking to qualify must be 18 years and above. For Lookuptv Business, Edwin John Mokora.
Now, we're still waiting for that particular event then to go live right here on Lookuptv. The live pictures that I'm showing you right now are the preparations that are ongoing at the State House as we wait for the president then to come in and launch this particular event. But that's the questions around that is exactly what the president is going to address then once he comes in. And what we do know is that the basics about this particular fund is going to be conducted. We already do know you can only borrow up to 50,000. That's exactly what we've seen, and we're going to see that the credit rating model is actually going to be around what is already existing in the country. But good news is that maybe today is the day that we're going to see the 4 million Kenyans who had been flagged by CRBs across the country then come out of that CRB list, meaning that indeed they can then get this particular fund that we do expect that the minimum is going to be 500 all the way to 50,000. That coming right here on a Lookuptv later on as we wait for those preparations then to get ready. Moving on. Now, President William Ruto has challenged the Environment and Lands Court, ELC, to leverage on technology so as to expedite land cases settlement in the country for rapid economic growth. Speaking on behalf of the president in Pwani University during the celebration of the 10th anniversary of the ELC, Chief Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi urged the courts to fully employ public participation in matters around climate financing, women and land rights, climate change, urbanization, and disaster risk management. Let's listen in for more details.
The president, through the Chief Minister Musalia Mudavadi, expressed confidence in the court's ability to give solution to matters governance and land justice in the country, going by their good track record over the years. He challenged the ELC to work around removing the delays that have been witnessed over the years in determining land cases in the country, adding they continue to cost the economy an estimated 100 billion shillings worth of resources that are not released into the economy annually.
There are inordinate delays in the processing of instruments that are required either to unlock financial resources or to propel certain transactions. As you deliberate here, I would strongly appeal to you, kindly look at that area critically, dialogue with us so that we can partner in making sure that we can unlock what is estimated to be close to 100 billion shillings of resources that are not being released into the economy because there's some inordinate delay at the lands registry.
On her part, Chief Justice Martha Koome was upbeat about the progress that the court has made in the last 10 years in the land sector governance in the country, and further expressed her commitment in helping the court structures build on the progress in days to come.
I can say with confidence that there is already emerging from this court a line of thinking and an angle of approach to land jurisprudence that embraces and promotes social justice vision. This is the vision that we are implementing in the judiciary, which is drawn from the Constitution. 10 years of this court has therefore seen impressive progress in our land law jurisprudence, which is a steady foundation, and I encourage the court as we move to the second decade to build on that. One of the drivers of the court to create a specialized court for ELC matters was the perception that these disputes ought to be dealt with expeditiously.
She further indicated that it was time for the courts to desensitize the land issue in Kenya that is to blame for majority of conflicts experienced in the country through a strict and continuous adherence to constitutional law on land matters.
The so-called land question has been one of the vexing concerns that is always blamed as the root cause of the numerous conflicts that we experience in our communities. If we can remove the land conflicts in our society, I think we can just talk of very peaceful and harmonious coexistence. Therefore, the Constitution vested the Environment and Land Court with a huge and demanding mandate, and you have been equal to the task.
Kilifi Governor Gideon Mung'aro lay emphasis on the need to find a long-term solution to proper land justice in the country, as the biggest contributor of the economy's GDP rely on land as a resource.
Kenya's main productive sectors like agriculture, fisheries, and mining industries directly depend on raw materials from natural resources. These activities and the economic policies that determine them often undermine and deplete the very resources they depend on, leading to a massive downward spiral, environmental degradation, economic loss, and poverty.
For Lookup Business, Edin John Mokora.
The Competition Authority of Kenya, CAK, has directed the Family Bank of Kenya to refund 1.4 million shillings to a customer for an applied waiver on her mortgage facility and an amount debited from her account without her consent to settle legal fees incurred by the bank. Edwin John Mukora with that story.
The order by the Competition Authority is a result of an investigation following a complaint by a former employee who exited the bank after 11 years due to financial constraints. The employee was not in a position to service her loan. The lender responded by putting up the employee's property on auction in October 2017, which triggered the complainant to secure a court injunction to stop the sale, thus allowing her to secure a buyer. In November 2017, the bank is alleged to have debited an overdraft 399,800 shillings, which the bank claimed was the legal fee it would incur in the court proceedings. The complainant also contested the bank's decision not to waive 20% of the facility if fully settled, despite her exit letter indicating she was entitled to, since the letter did not provide the 30 days ultimatum. Edin John Mokora, Lookuptv.
The Tourism Fund has committed to supporting initiatives for the recovery of the tourism sector heavily hit by the COVID-19 pandemic. Speaking in Lamu County during the 20th Lamu Cultural Festival, Lamu County Governor Issa Timami revealed a partnership between the two entities that saw the fund donate 500,000 shillings to support the county government in the event. The event has already attracted over 30,000 visitors, both foreign and local, with the governor urging sector players to mark the coast region and Kenya in general as a top destination in the world.
And so we decided to partner with the county government of Lamu. We'll continue, Bwana Governor, to support all tourism initiatives in Lamu and in coast in general and in the entire country. The focus is to improve numbers, create coexistence, partnerships with the county government and the national government. And so we will continue to support this initiative even in the future, and we must appreciate the governor for bringing it on, the event.
Success of the Lamu Cultural Festival is partly due to commitments by various partners, and Tourism Fund is one of such partners. You know, all organizations that deal with tourism, we have to work together in promoting not only Lamu, the coast in general, and Kenya. And it is my intention that once I set up my government, I want to hold a retreat here in Lamu.
Now, Kiage Supermarket has opened 3 more supermarket chains in Eldoret, making it 27 outlets in the country. According to the management, the lounge gives customers a wider chance of getting pocket-friendly goods in harsh economic times.
This is our 22nd outlet in terms of the supermarket division, and for Eldoret, this is our 3rd outlet. In today's opening, we're having various offers in various products, grand opening offers, and even Christmas offers. We're also having our Chota Kuchota promotion going on for the Christmas and back to school, and we wish our customers all the best in their shopping for this Christmas.
Hii ni tawi letu ya 22 nchini Kenya, ambayo tunajivunia sana na kusema kwamba watu wa Eldoret tunawashukuru kwa kusupport kwa hii muda yote ambayo tumeingia hii mji. Vilevile tunaambia Wakenya wote siku ya leo tunazindua rasmi mashindano letu ya Chota Kuchota ambayo inaanza rasmi leo. Ukiona mbele yetu hapo tuko na magari, ni magari 7 ambayo zinashindaniwa kote nchini, na vilevile tutakuwa na vitu mingi ambayo tunataka wananchi washinde kama pikipiki, tuko na microwaves, tuko na fridges, vilevile school vouchers.
All right, at this time, let's take a look at how the markets are trending at this hour. Now, remember, we're checking for exactly what has been the trends right now, see whether the market is replicating that. We're going to look for HF or HFCK, essentially in the biggest gainers or the biggest movers because they gave us a profit. Also going to look for Unga Limited probably in the losers as well. Let's check that about right now before then we cross over live to Green Park where we have that launch of the Hustler Fund. All right, let's start with the biggest gainers from yesterday, and we're looking for HF, whether we see whether it's currently there. Do we have it? Can we go live? Yes, with the numbers. Thank you very much. We do have Kakuzi now at 418. That's a positive 10. And we don't have Liberty closing that list. But for me, it will be NBV. NBV has been oscillating between 380, 370. Them being at 9.72%, by the way, will be quite a healthy spot for them now. Kakuzi comes in at 418. That's a positive 10 change. Not so much of a surprise, but I can give you what they are right now. HF is now number 1. In terms of the biggest gainers after 2 hours and 23 minutes of trading at 3 shillings and 50 cents. Can Group is number 2 at 10 shillings, and Kabasid will be coming in at 11.95 of a cent. All right, let's move on then to the next one, which is the biggest losers from yesterday. And I will tell you, we do have a new entrance in this particular list. MBV is on it now. Let's check whether it's up here right now. It's not, because we do have Crown Paints at 35 shillings and 25 cents per share. Everybody, we do know what's happening with this particular stock. Has been below a shilling, sorry, and it's going to be there for some time. Express is coming in at 2 shillings and 80 cents. Kabasid is closing in at least with 11 shillings and 50 cents. But we do know what's happening with the East African Cables Limited. We're going to be there for some time with that particular stock. Not going to move away from where it is right now. One of those stocks that what we do know with them is that they're not really ticking All right, let's move on to the bigger boys then in terms of volume. And we don't have, we're going to check what Safaricom is back up and running with those numbers. Let's jump into those numbers right now. Again, Safaricom quite struggling to the closing stages of a trading this year. Remember, equity is now at 4.3 million, Safaricom 2.7 million, KCB 1 million. But if you look at this, not so bad. But then if you look at this equities and over, I'll tell you it's not going to be something not good, because then if you have equity leading at 4.3 and EABL is coming in at 1.1. Maybe the biggest stories of this year is exactly the way KPLC has been trading, because they closed now this list at 542,800, and that marks the end of that particular movement. But as expected, now this one here, where you have EABL, KCB, Safaricom, and equity, would be representing what we do have as just what we expect at NSE right now. I can confirm that Safaricom right now is at 2.3 million shares, EABL 637,000, Centum 246,100, KCB 169,400, and that is just after 2 hours and 25 minutes of trading. Now, the bigger event today is the launch of that particular Hustler Fund that we are expecting. Remember, we are live on that particular ground, and we want you to also enjoy also listening on that particular launch. So now, once we come back from this break, then we'll be crossing live to that particular ground where we shall be giving you that Hustler Fund launch. Good morning. My name is Simba. Elijah Charles Kiage.
So mimi nilikuwa mmoja